United Colonies vessel to unknown contact. Please acknowledge.
Oh, jeez. Sorry, cough. Face is just itchy.
All of a day's work for you, your designation. Any way we can repay you? Of course. We gotta resume our patrol.
So hey, by the way, if you have any, if there's any interesting thing to, want to comment down, just comment on it, and I'm gonna have to rewatch the video to know what the heck I'm talking about. So my OCs, I've mentioned before that I don't want to have, like... I don't want to just have my characters be, like, super horny all the time. Or super kinky all the time. I don't want them to be super... Oh my god. I don't want them to be super, Guju, what's it? I don't want them to be super violent. I don't want it to be like, oh, war is like the super casual thing. Yeah, so my thought is, what I want, it's like this sort of multiversal thing. Bunch of character, like it's basically a, there are parallel universe anomalies that rip people out of their universes and they just sort of end up, well, I mean, anywhere theoretically in the universe, but usually, potentially, they end up on this one planet, and it's like this one planet that's under the control of a, there's like a deity who, like, basically a deity or a very powerful person who, gets the source of their power is from the planet, but they cannot leave the planet. And as such, they are kind of the guardian of the planet. And nobody else can leave the planet, not because of a self-imposed rule, but like... I mean, maybe, I don't know. It could be a few things. Could explore that a little bit. There are definitely people who were born on the planet. There are definitely people who very much, you know, were taken from other realities. My thought is that, like, this... I want to call him a Guardian. I think Guardian's probably what the working title right now is Guardians. His Guardian is, playful, mischievous, but sort of is like, you know, done this sort of thing for thousands of years and just, like, wants to be a little bit more responsible. But also doesn't want to be, like, super authoritative. So, there's not, like, huge countries necessarily. There's more just, hey, there's a town or a city or something. Town, city, village. City, town, village. And giant roads and an understood trade network. Media is a thing that exists. The internet is a thing that exists. But there's also, like, bands of pirates and stuff. And, like, yes, there are wars, there are violent characters, but they're not, like, they're not the focus. I don't know if I want to explicitly be anti-war in my comics, because I don't want it to be, like, a huge comic thing. I don't want to glorify violence. I would say I'm overall an anti-war person myself. But you know how it be sometimes. you know how it be sometimes. You know, sometimes you just gotta grab out the big guns. You know, sometimes words just become a little bit too ineffective. Just gotta get the pew-pews. Yeah. Bust him out. Jolly old time. Bob's your uncle. Yeah, that's definitely... Yeah, no, that's, But yeah, and, you know, I wanna, I do also want there to be... So, like, is Rylu ever going to kill somebody in a comic? Probably not. Not, like, explicitly. I mean, the closest you would get, I think, would be Rylu is going out on a mission with a very much a mercenary friend, and I mean, like, has a weapon, as a lethal weapon, because self-defense is a thing. It wouldn't be self-defense if you're going on a mission to attack somebody, and like, even if you were going on a mission that would, you know, sort of put you in a, oh, you know you're going to go into violence, it wouldn't be self-defense, is definitely a thing. But you might get a thing where he's on a mission, violence happens, shots are fired, and it just happens that people die. That's the closest you would get to Rylu being a violent person. The mercenary friend would absolutely murder indiscriminately. That is a solid part of his very fucked up character. And of course there's a bunch of pirates who are like that. I also want there to be a thing where the Guardian is has the power to resurrect anybody and everybody, and like genuinely probably is like, I don't really want to like ever, oh, like I've captured their soul and I've maybe stored their soul in some way and will reanimate them whenever I feel like it. Maybe I'll reanimate them in 2 days, maybe I'll do it in 2 centuries, you know, that kind of a thing. 2 millennium. 20 millennium, who knows? So yeah. There is that. And of course, maybe it's like every once in a while it's like, yeah, okay, this person is like too dangerous. Let's like, maybe they need to go. Is a thing they've probably done before. And there's, you know, also got to be some existential crisis thing of going on of like, oh, okay, so there's this guardian creature who's like totally has the opportunity to just like has the powers to completely like rewrite somebody's personality, completely rewrite to make me believe that, oh, I've, you know, something crazy like, oh, I'm from a different reality and I got taken here. But in actual fact, they could easily have just made me believe that that is the case with mind powers. And like, you know, I mean, like, knowing that that might be the case, potentially even knowing that that for a fact is the case, how do you know, proceed with your life after getting that information? And, you know, some different people would have different reactions. Barely. I would say. But yeah, so I mean, I don't want it to be super violent. I don't want it to be super horny. I don't want to just transform everybody into things and have, you know,
That's not even fair.
and just have a lot of fetishy things happening all the time. I mean, like, some of that. you know, just like, I mean, definitely like, you know, Railu is a shapeshifter, and if I can make a situation where it's like, oh, Railu goes to the mall, and then a situation happens, and Railu uses his shapeshifting powers to save the day, or maybe not save the day, but, you know, uses his powers to do a thing, and yeah, that would be good. And especially just like even fun little, just like, these are like relatively inconsequential things, but they just are used to further expand on the character. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Could be any number of ways that that plays out. Yeah. What else? What else? Oh, also, and this is the thing I should probably... Yeah, this is the thing I need to look up. The loss of technology. Because, like, that's a thing that I'm like, okay, this cannot happen. It would be interesting, like, on this world, there are cultures that are different levels of advanced, maybe. You know, people from the year 1500 get, you know, transported to this reality, and they have their own area that their own island, their own continent that they mainly inhabit, and everybody from the 21st century is on this other one, and then people from the 27th century are on this other continent or something like that. But they have to maintain their level of technology. I mean, there could be so many different ways to, you know, play with that. So many different ways to play with that. I mean, like, the first thought was that Railu would go to a laboratory, and it was like a transformation, highly focused on transformation. But I think if it was just a laboratory, it's like, hey, we have a bunch of lab equipment and a bunch of, like, people who specialize in different things, and we're just literally the reason for the laboratory is to test things, confirm that this is a scientific thing, and update, like, textbooks and the things so that the most modern science can be taught, and we can confirm that this is true, and, you know, like, that kind of a thing. And maybe it's like that's an element of just how the world works that I don't know, and probably should know for the sake of world building. But anyways, till next time, a good day, great day even. Chowskis.